Welcome back to another episode of the Adventure Athletes podcast. In this week's episode, I sit down with Ross Hoskins, who is an incredible triathlete. I got him on after having a word with Dave from Heathwood, who I had on the podcast not that long ago, and he highly recommended having Ross on. Ross has had a ton of achievements, from being a competitive swimmer from when he was younger, building into triathlons, getting injured, taking a step back, and then returning to the world of triathlon, both in shorter and longer distances, and is currently training for the Ironman World Championships. So yeah, fingers crossed to Ross. Let's see how he does in that. But before we get into the episode and learning a bit more about Ross, here is a quick message from our friends over at Soulmate.
We're Soulmate. Whether you're new to running or an experienced runner, we've got you covered for both road and trail, from shoes to nutrition to running poles and everything in between. Use code ADVENTURE10 both in-store or online for 10% off your order.
Now, as I keep going on about, I am an ambassador and fundraiser for Sport in Mind. So my recent fundraiser is going to be an event where we're going to run, as a team of 4, we're going to run, cycle, swim, walk, whatever it is, 100 kilometers over 10 days. Now, this might seem like it's something that's far too easy, especially for me, and you'd be right, it is. So what we're doing is, I found out that there was a leaderboard on who can get the most distance. So as a team, we've committed to trying to be the top of the leaderboard, which I don't think is a surprise to anyone, if I'm honest, knowing who's on the team. But yeah, that's what we're aiming for. If we don't hit the fundraising target that I'm hoping for, then I am going to have to step up the fundraising a bit as well. All the money that I'm fundraising is going into a big group Adventure Athletes fundraiser. So I've set up this group fundraiser, and we're just trying to see how much money we can raise for Sport in Mind in the period of a year. This is the first challenge that's going to happen. We've got a few Adventure Athletes that are going out and doing separate challenges to this as well, and fundraising, and yeah, it's going to be quite a big challenge, to be honest. Just seeing how much as a group we can raise. If you want to get involved with that, please send me a message. The more people we can have on the Adventure Athletes fundraising team, the better. So if you've got a big challenge coming up, drop me a message and we'll see if we can set up the fundraising for Sport in Mind. And yeah, if you need any help or support with said challenges, I'd be more than happy to help, especially if you're in that fundraising group. But for now, enjoy the podcast, guys. What was your call to adventure?
Mm-hmm.
So however you want to take that.
Okay. Yeah, it was... I've just always done sport. I've just always been... I started off with swimming, and then... Are we recording now?
Yeah, it's recording.
Well, yeah, I just started off with swimming. I think I came out the womb swimming. And then my mum was a swimmer, like a national level swimmer. My dad was a mountain biker, so I went mountain biking with him all the time. And then because I was fit from the two of those, I did cross country in school, so then triathlon was the sort of natural progression to go into. But yeah, I started off as a swimmer. I got into club at sort of 8, and then progressed on to national, regional squad first, which was sort of that's the sort of goal. You've got to hit the qualifying times to be able to get into that. Got a few of those. Got into the regional squad. This is up in North Wales, where I'm originally from. Got into swimming. We were doing like 16 to 20 hours a week, like ridiculous numbers. Won a few sort of Welsh national medals. Went to British nationals a couple of times, mostly as part of relays, because it was easier to get into. Got into... I was doing well, but I was never in any danger of going to the Olympics. Like, I did a few international meets as part of the Welsh team. We went out to Switzerland, which was beautiful. It was a open air 50 metre pool. and it was like 25 degrees all week until the last day, and it started snowing.
Oh wow.
And we were doing, I did a 400 IM race, which is you do 2 lengths of the 50-meter pool on each stroke. So when I was doing backstroke, having snow landing on your face is quite surreal. Yeah. And then it was sort of around that time that I was going into A levels. I was getting ill every other week, and it was affecting school, and it was affecting all sorts. So that's when I sort of got into the triathlon side of it. Took it. I got into it quite quickly and to a quite decent level because I was fit already, and then I just wasn't used to all the impact of the running and that sort of stuff, because having floppy ankles as a swimmer, rolled my ankle quite a lot, started to get a lot of knee pain, got a little bit of hip pain just from all the impact of running that I just wasn't used to from, as you know, swimming just isn't weight bearing at all.
Yeah.
And then, got into it quite quickly, got injured quite quickly, and then, sort of, I competed at like British nationals with the triathlon. Again, never any danger of winning it. And then went to uni. I started getting a few more injuries, and sort of uni sort of took over as well, as it usually does for most people. And then, I sort of took the triathlon sort of took a back seat with all the lower body injuries. I was like, oh, I might start going back into swimming, because it was 2015, 2016 at the time, and I was like, oh, I could go to the 2018 Commonwealths. That could be the goal, to get back into the swimming. And the numbers that I was putting out with the swimming weren't too far off the sort of qualifying times for that. If I put a big shift in with the swimming, then we could maybe get close to that. And then, in typical me fashion, got another injury. Did my elbow in. It still bugs me a little bit to this day. Started to get a bit of tendonitis in the elbow here. So sort of knocked that on the head, and then I was like, what can I do? I can't run and bike really, because I get a lot of lower body pain. I can't really swim because I got a lot of upper body pain. So I started to go to the gym a lot more. And then, sort of 2017, 2018, as I was finishing my degree at Cardiff Met, I started to get a bit more into the gym. Went and did my PT qualification as I left uni, and started working as a personal trainer in a gym, just a commercial gym in Cardiff. And then, got quite into the gym, really enjoyed that. I went from about 80 kilos to about 105 just from all the gym work, and then just not doing as much exercise as I was in the past, but still probably eating the same amount. And then that's when sort of lockdown hit. From doing all the gym work, I got a lot stronger, so I was like, let's give the tri stuff another go. So sort of 2020 was sort of my, I guess, rebirth into triathlon, and then got back into it a bit more, found the love for it again. I was very unfit at that point, after having sort of 3 years completely out. It wasn't starting from scratch, because I still had the sort of baseline fitness there. The swimming never really went, because I'd just done so much of it. You don't lose the technique side of it. The running especially took me a while to get back into it. And then, me and my girlfriend, we decided to do a half Ironman in a day. So we got up early, went down to Barry, did the swim in the sea there, and then we went out on a bike ride, chose the flattest route we could, went and did the 56 mile bike, and then we went and it was the most horrific run I've ever done. We did a half marathon at the end of the day after a little break. I think I had a nap and a haircut actually.
Nap and a haircut mid
In transition, yeah. And then got that done, and it was. I look back at that run like on Strava, and it looked horrendous. Just the heart rate that I was hitting, and for the pace I was going, it just looked horrific. And then just that sort of ignited it. I entered Weymouth Half Ironman the year after. That was my first official half Ironman. Previous to that, I'd only done the sprint and the standard distance stuff. It was a learning experience again. I sort of didn't pace myself very well. I was top 3 out the water, and then went very backwards after that. Bike, there's one little hill that you come over back into Weymouth, and I was crawling up there, and then the run was horrific. And then I was like, I want to give it a good proper go. So signed up for it immediately the next year again, as everyone does with all Ironman events. Got back into that again. Did the 2022 along with some other events. Did lots of sprint and standard stuff, and then gave Swansea a go actually the next year as well. So I did that the first 3 years it was running. The Ironman events you just can't beat them. They're amazing, so well run, and so having the roads closed and all that sort of stuff, it's really good. Got Swansea out the way, got Weymouth out the way, started to see a bit of progression. It's still the running that lets me down. And then over the last few years, I've just been progressing until last year I decided to do Ironman Wales for the first time, my first full distance. I was happy with the time. I was happy with the my position and all that. I was happy with the performance I put out, but I just didn't enjoy it. The training, it just takes over your life. The idea of just slowing yourself down and pacing yourself all day just didn't resonate with me. Coming from especially from a swimming background, where the longest event you're doing is a 1500, which for me was 16 minutes. Like, to go into doing just under 11 hours for Ironman, it's a big shift in mentality. It's a big shift in what energy systems you're using. I find I just don't suit that sort of training and racing. I just fall apart a lot. But I'd rather batter myself over an hour or two over a sprint or standard than sort of slow myself down and pace myself all day. Come to this year, Swansea, actually I qualified for the World Championships this year, so I've got that later in the year. We've got a couple of months until then. That's out in Marbella. But this year the big focus for the first half of the year was the Welsh Super Series, because it's a series of 6 races. It's your 4 best scoring races. They're all sprint and standard distance. You get to go and see all of Wales as well. So I did Llanelli sprint first, led out the water by about 20 seconds over Ollie Simon, who he's anyone who does triathlon in Wales will know Ollie Simon is very good swimmer, very good cyclist. And then but I got it was 2-lap route. I got halfway around the first lap on the bike, hit a pothole and punctured straight away. So I was feeling really good as well. I was flying along. Had the puncture. Didn't bring any tools with me to fix it because you want to be as light as possible for the bike, and didn't. So every race since then I've brought tools with me. But I haven't had any punctures, so I was out of it for that one, so that put me on the back foot for the start of the series. Then the next one was Slate Man, which flipped it on its head. The big challengers there were sort of with Simon Cole, who overall he came third in the series, and then Griff Lewis, who ex-professional cyclist, getting into triathlon. He was a big threat on the bike. He was scary to come up because it's an out and back course over Penny Pass up in Snowdonia, and you can see everyone coming back the other way. And I got to that halfway point, and I was like, oh, I've got 3 minutes here. So after that, it's all just a long drag back down into Llanberis, and got to Llanberis, and I was like, no one's going to run down 3 minutes on a 5k to me. So I was like, okay, I think I've got this. Got to the finish, ended up winning in that one. So from Llanelli to Slate Man, it was a big difference there. Flipped that on its head. Next one was Cardiff. Going into Cardiff, I had a problem with my ankle, which was caused by the chain slipping on my bike, and I managed to roll my ankle within my bike shoe on the bike, and I don't know how it happened to this day. But yeah, it meant I couldn't kick properly when I was swimming. So leading up to that event, I'd led out the water at every triathlon for the last 4 years. So including like Swansea 70.3, including Weymouth 70.3, including all these big events. I hadn't been beaten out the water, and I just couldn't use my left ankle. So I couldn't swim properly like how I usually swim, and that left me. It was the first one that I've been beaten out of the water for 4 years. So yeah, it was annoying. So I've never been in that situation where I'm like on the back foot and chasing. And riding around the streets of Cardiff, it was carnage because you've got so many different events going on there. You're doing 4 laps of the same course, and it was, there's just a lot going on, and the roads of Cardiff aren't great either. So there's all the potholes and the roundabouts and all sorts just to navigate. Ended up catching up to Ollie again. And then I think I'd probably overcooked it by that point, and I fell apart on the run again as usual. Finished 5th in that one, which I think was my lowest scoring of the series. Got to Porthcawl, which was the next one. There was a couple of younger boys there from the performance centre, Ivan and Yuan. They were both sort of on good form because I know both of them from races. They're barely old enough to drive a car, but they're scary good in the swim, bike and run. They're all good across the board there. Ivan led out the swim again, so that's another one. He was just better than me. I don't have any excuses for that one. He had about 45-second lead out the swim. I came out second with a couple of other boys. We got going on the bike. I probably went a bit too hard again. This is a theme. And caught everyone on the bike. Came into transition 2 with about 2 minute gap, and he caught me within 5k. So yeah. He's a phenomenal runner, Ivan. I think he did like 34 minutes for a 10k off the bike.
Oh, wow.
Which for an 18-year-old is crazy. And I think I did 39 minutes, which I was happy with. But yeah, he was just another level. Then got into... So I ended up coming 4th, I think, in that one. So still there's points on the board, but it's not where I want to be. And then it all came down to the last race in Barry, which is the last one in the series. I tend to go better over the shorter distance, which Barry was. It was a sprint distance. Got going on that. I led out the swim, I think 2 minutes to Andy Jones, and then there's another minute back to Griff Lewis, who was next. So that the main competitor in the series. Got round the swim, had a good gap. Another out and back course, it was 3 laps, so I could see where everyone was on the course. And I could see I was holding Griff at about 3 minutes. And again, I know I'm not the best runner, but not many people are going to run 3 minutes into me on a 5k. So I gave it a good go, gave it a good whack, and managed to come up with the win on the day and win the series.
Oh, nice.
Welsh Super Series. First time I've done the whole series. I've always watched this on TV and stuff like that on S4C, but it had never really crossed my mind to actually do it. And gave it a good go, and ended up winning the series.
That's honestly amazing.
Yeah. It definitely suits me, the shorter distances.
Yeah.
I going from Ironman to, well, my last race of last season being Ironman, to go into doing a sprint distance, it's completely different. It's just full gas. It's eyeballs out for an hour. But it's what I enjoy. It's what I prefer doing.
Yeah.
And that's sort of where we're at the moment. Then this weekend coming, I've got Weymouth half Ironman again, so it'd be good to see where we're at for that. It is an A race for the year, but it's sort of see where we're at for Worlds later in the year, which is 9th of November. So we've got a couple of months till then. Big couple of months of training to get as fit as I can be. Yeah.
What's the distance for the one in November?
That's half Ironman.
Half Ironman.
Yeah,
okay.
so I qualified in Swansea for that. And then we'll be going out there for, well, it'll be like 5 degrees here, and then we'll be going out there and it's about 20 degrees. So it'll be wearing lots of layers while we're training to sort of simulate that heat. Yeah.
Oh, fair play. Triathlon's like completely new to me. Like I can't swim.
Yeah.
So like the only sort of time reference that I've got is when you're comparing like 5k and 10k times, and saying like that 39 10k off the back of a bike.
Yeah.
Because I've done some brick sessions cycling and then running, and your legs are not fresh off of a bike.
You sort of get to know what it's going to feel like. I got to the point, I've been doing it for 15 years now, triathlon, and I got to the point where I actually feel better coming off the bike, because you're sort of primed, you're warmed up, and then that first 5k I feel really good coming off the bike, and then it starts to fall apart. And then that's where the fatigue hits me. But it's that, especially for like your first brick session or your first triathlon, that jelly leg feeling, that's horrible. Yeah.
How do you like get over that? How do you push through that sort of, because it's intimidating as like,
it's just experience. It's just putting yourself in that situation more, doing lots of brick sessions like you say. Doing it more. That's all I can say. You do just naturally, your body figures out, oh, I'm coming off the bike now, it's gonna feel wobbly, and then your body just figures it out. Just the more you do it. It's like with anything, I guess. Like if you went for a full sprint, it's gonna, well, if you did like a big track session, you're gonna feel it the next day. But then you do a few more of those and you don't start to feel it. You don't have the same DOMSy sort of feeling the next day. Your body just learns to cope with it. It's the same with this. What I find harder is going from the swim to the bike.
Okay.
Because you're going from horizontal, all the blood's up in your shoulders, and you go to standing, especially if it's like a beach exit and you're sinking in the sand. You go to vertical, all the blood rushes down to your legs, and it's like you're drunk. It's like you've had 10 pints, and you're stumbling across all over the place. Everyone who's done like Ironman Wales especially, where you've got to do the Aussie exit, where you do a lap of the swim, you come out of the water, run round Gosca Rock on North Beach, and then you go back in for the second lap of the swim. That little run there, you people are stumbling all over the place. It's carnage. I looked at my heart rate data, and I was sort of 150, 160 while I was swimming, and it spiked up to 190 on that little run, just because all the blood's having to be pumped into a different part of your body.
Yeah.
And then you are like really lightheaded and all over the place. But again, it's just to deal with that. It's just practice, and I don't think I did enough of it leading into Wales. But yeah, like all the youngsters who are in like the performance centre up at Cardiff Met now, they're doing that sort of practice all the time. All the transitions, especially in the shorter events, are key to having it. Because say if you come out of the water with a group of 5 people, there can be a difference between say a minute and 2 minutes between those people in transition. If you're coming out a minute after, you're a minute behind on the bike, you've lost that sort of drafting effect you're going to get, and you're out of the race basically. Whereas the other 4 people are flying off ahead, all working with each other.
Yeah.
I find that swim to bike a lot worse than the bike to run feeling.
Really?
Yeah.
That's something I'll have no experience with without being able to swim, but like
We'll get you swimming, yeah.
yeah. Well, now that I'm doing massage down with you guys,
you may as well, yeah.
I've been looking at. I was talking to Dave about this, about getting some swimming lessons, because I'd love to do a triathlon. But it's just the swim. And I'm not. I would be more suited towards like Ironman distance, because
from your background,
I haven't done a sub 40 10k like without the other 2 events first. So the fact that you're doing it with the other 2, I'm just like, what the fuck? Like, blows my mind that you're that quick after the 2 events.
Yeah, and then I'm looking at the other guys who are doing like the 34, 32s even. I've seen like racing against me.
Yeah.
We did another one. It wasn't part of any series. We did another one in the Cotswolds, and Matt Grantham. I think I had a 4 or 5 minute lead over him going on to the run, and he dropped a 32-minute 10. Well, I think it was like 9.8k, but still, 32 minutes.
Yeah,
it's ridiculous.
That's rapid, just like I'm saying, just for a normal run.
Yeah.
Let alone for off the bike, out of a swim.
Yeah. He ended up winning Swansea 70.3 in the age groupers. I think he did like a 1:15 half marathon off the bike there.
Oh my god,
it's ridiculous.
This is what I don't get about triathlon, which fascinates me so much, because everyone's like, oh yeah, if you want to be average at all 3, like, do triathlon. And it's like, look at their times, like that is not average at all.
Like, someone would look at my swimming times and say I'm not average, but then bike times maybe as well, I'd probably be above average. But the run, I see myself as average in running, but then
I would see you as like average for a good runner. Like, if you put yourself in like that good running sort of thing. Yeah. But like, people are saying it as if it's like, yeah, you're just like the average runner, and I'm like, the average runner is like aiming for like a sub 60 10k.
Yeah.
Not like a sub 40. Like, triathlon, you are good at all of the things. Like, yeah, you'll never be like the elite on each unless you specialize.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, props to triathletes.
Yeah, it's crazy. But I see it all the time, like where I coach at Heathwood as well, where Dave Tonge is my boss and good friend now. We take people all the time from I can't swim to a year, 18 months, 2 years later doing an Ironman. Like, it's definitely possible. It is just learning how to work with the water, I guess. We have some very good swimmers, we have some very good cyclists, some very good runners who they come into the water, and sort of treat it the same. Like with the running, if you want to run fast, you've got to get your cadence up. You've got to get up to that 180 strides per minute. And they're treating swimming the same way, where they're trying to get the arms over really quickly, and it just doesn't work with swimming. You just splash a lot. Swimming's, I always say, like, for the Ironman, most people will do sort of 5,500 strokes. If you can take 500 strokes off that, you're going to save energy. Yeah. But what also happens with the swimming is you've got to shift more water back and then get further from each stroke. So by doing that, you're maintaining the same speed. You're not losing out on speed by slowing the strokes down. It doesn't. The runner brain can't comprehend it.
Yeah.
But yeah, slower is smoother, and smoother is faster, is what we usually say.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's not about getting the arms over really quick. It's about maximising what you're already doing from each stroke. Yeah, that's if you look at when I'm swimming against other people, like on the start line, I'm doing half the strokes, but then I'll come out ahead of everyone most of the time in the swim.
Yeah.
Unless they're ridiculously good and swim a lot more than me, and yeah. Yeah.
How do you balance the three in training? Like, what does like a usual week training for triathlon look like?
Running's where I need to work on, so I'm trying to run a lot more at the moment. I'm trying to put all my eggs in the running basket at the moment. So I'm running 4 times a week. One of those will be just an easy. I run on my sort of rest day, recovery day. I'll do an easy 5, 6, 7k. Then I'll do my long run on the weekend. If it's getting more towards race season like it is at the moment, then I'll add some sort of race specific intervals into that as well. On a Tuesday we have our club night where we'll do I guess it's more geared towards whatever big race is coming up. So a lot of people do an Ironman. We won't specifically go to Ironman pace because that's just, for most people, it's just a shuffle. But we'll go sort of, we won't push past threshold. We'll do some longer intervals, and then on a Thursday I usually do my just another easy run, just add up some extra mileage in.
Yeah.
So I'm running 4 times a week. Bike, you've got to put a lot into the bike because it's the biggest proportion of the triathlon, any triathlon you're doing. You're always going to spend more time on the bike there, so it's a lot of it is just base work with the bike. If you're new to it, I'd say just focus on riding your bike more. You don't need to go into all the intervals, especially if you're living around here. It's hilly enough to, you're going to find interval. It's going to be like an interval session wherever you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, with the bike, it is just more time in the saddle, basically. As you progress, say you've done your first triathlon and you want to go again but get faster, then maybe add some intervals in. So you can use your turbo trainer, you can use Zwift, use the Watt bikes, whatever you use, to add that in. I currently do 2 long rides a week. I do a Wednesday and I do another one on the weekend. The Wednesday I'll usually add a lot of race specific stuff in. Fridays is our usual harder, more thresholdy session on the bike. Since we've had our Watt bike studio at Heathwood, we've been doing it down there, which is, it's good to get all the guys down there, and the guys and girls, and all pushing each other rather than sort of typing to each other over Zwift. Yeah, it's a good laugh. We've got the tunes going and the disco lights on. It's all good fun. Anything else I do on the bike will just be easy again. So if I've got a spare hour and a half, then I'll do another ride there. The bike, you can push it a bit more than the running because it's non-load bearing. As long as your bike fits all right, you're not going to get injured, and as long as you don't fall off. Then the swim, I don't really swim that much. I'll do one. I've probably averaged one session a week all year, because I don't need to. I've got the background there, and as long as I stay fit and as long as I keep the form there, I've been pushing it up to 2 or 3 sessions recently, as we're getting towards race season. But yeah, I don't need to swim loads, and I don't think I'm going to gain a lot by swimming any extra.
Yeah.
It's just going to be adding extra junk volume onto it, which, yeah, I don't need it really.
Yeah.
And it's worked all year. Like, I've been pretty consistent, other than when I had the ankle injury. I've been pretty consistent with the swimming through all the races, and yeah, it seems to work for me. Those sessions with the swim, if I swim twice a week, I'll do one more interval-y session and then one more drills-y session. I don't think I've been over maybe 3.3k all year. Even leading into Ironman, I didn't really go any more than that. I probably swam 3 times a week was the most leading into Ironman. The longest interval in that would probably be 300 meters. And then a lot of it's just drills, a lot of it's skills, maintaining that form. Like I said, if you can be smooth, you can use a lot less energy and you can go a lot faster.
Yeah.
That's what swimming's all about. It all comes from that technique. And I think Dave said it when he was on with you. You get people who go in and they just smash the yardage, smash the mileage, and you're not gaining anything from it. You're just reinforcing the bad technique, and you're not actually improving.
Yeah. That was probably me when I was trying to learn to swim.
Yeah, it's what everyone does. Like, we get all the runners, all the cyclists come in, and they're just sort of treating it like running and cycling, where the big factor is you've got to do more. You've got to do more swimming. You've got to do more cycling. You've got to do more running. Those people who are used to running like 70, 80 miles a week, they come in and treat swimming with the same sort of philosophy, I guess, and it just doesn't work. It doesn't correlate. You've got to have the technique there to be able to swim well, swim fast.
Yeah. No, it's fascinating to me, because I am that runner that's just like, yeah, if you do it more, you'll get better.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, no.
You will start to, just by swimming more, you are going to get better at swimming.
Yeah.
But you'll hit a plateau very shortly. A lot of people struggle with the breathing, and that's generally because the arms are coming out so quick that you haven't got enough time to get a breath in. Yeah, and then the sinky legs is the usual triathlete. So I'll stick a pull buoy in, I'll stick a pair of fins on, I'll swim in a wetsuit because it feels better, but you're then not going to gain anything from that.
Yeah.
You're not improving yourself. You're using all these toys to put you into a better position, to make you better, rather than you actually doing it. So it's learning how to sort of support yourself in the water via the kick, via a lot of people are using the arms to sort of push themselves up in the water there. So yeah, the heads are coming up high, or just to stop themselves from sinking. If you're using your arm to push downwards, you're not using your arm to push you forwards. With front crawl especially, it's the legs are doing like 5-10% of that forward propulsion, whereas the arms are doing the other 90% of that. You're using your legs, 1, to get you horizontal, and 2, to help you rotate, to allow you to reach out and get longer strokes there. So it's learning how to use your legs, 1, to support you in the water, but 2, to control what your body's doing through that rotation.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, coming from the swimming background, I don't think I've ever done a session where we've just swam. Like you go out for a run and that's just what you do.
Yeah.
But we've never just swam. Like it's not something you do in swimming. It's like, if you want to put it into running terms, it's like when you go to the track and you do all the drills at the start of the session. That's the swimming session. You're just going to do the drills. You don't actually do much total swimming, especially when you're sort of learning to swim. It is breaking it down into smaller chunks that you can manage before trying to add it all together. Like if I brought you into Heathwood and we did some kick, and I said, oh, just do that, add that into your swimming. It's not going to happen because everything else, you've got too many things to think about all at once. So it's break it down and slowly build it up, add a new thing, add a new thing, add a new thing until finally you are swimming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's something I'm gonna have to learn if I ever want to do a triathlon.
Yeah.
But we'll see if I get there.
I'm in Wales 2026.
Oh, I don't know. That'd be pushing it for me, I think.
I've had people who honestly can't swim and they've gone to doing that sort of stuff in a year. So if you put the work in, I don't see why not.
Yeah.
It sounds like you've got the bike and the run there, so
I've definitely got the fitness there. Yeah. I did like 230 miles in a week running.
That's ridiculous.
So, yeah, that was this year's challenge, and then next year I'm aiming to up that to another 100 in the same amount of time, basically. So, yeah, I've definitely got the run fitness there, which that'll translate pretty quick to the bike. It'll just be getting used to the bike, I reckon.
Yeah, like I said, bike's just about spending more time in the saddle.
Yeah.
It is just ride your bike more. Like I said, especially around here where it's hilly.
Yeah.
You're always going to get a good session out of it. Where my parents are in North Wales, they live on top of a hill, so it's like you've gone out, you've done 100k, you've done a sort of getting up to 100 miles, and you've got to go up this big hill to finish. But it's good training.
Yeah.
Good training effect.
Would you rather the hill be at the start or the finish of the bike?
Well, once you're at the top of the hill, it's all downhill from there. So yeah, you'd rather at the start.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I quite like finishing on a hill. I don't know why. I'm the same with running.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Unless I'm like absolutely fucked, I'm like I'd love to finish on a hill because I know that I've still got a run in me uphill.
Yeah.
So I'm like, that's where I can like take souls. It's like if there's a long uphill finish, I'm like, right, I'm having people here. So yeah.
It's like the Bath half marathon course. It's all dead flat, and then you got like it's the last, I think 500 meters. You're going up quite a decent hill, and that's where just the life gets sucked out of you. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I'd love that course. I might have to sign up to that. Just everyone just like slowing down and I'm speeding up, just being like, oh yeah, nice finish here. It was funny. I used to hate hills, but I started basing my running for the challenge I did this year just off elevation for a while.
Yeah.
Like I did 2 months of where I wasn't looking really at my distance. I was just like, how much elevation can I get in the shortest amount of time? And now I just love it.
That's mad.
So
there was a challenge in cycling recently where you've got to do 100k from wherever you want to do it, but you've got to fit in as much elevation as you can.
Okay.
In 100k. You're not allowed to ride the same road twice though. So wherever you are, I guess it depends on wherever you are, where you're starting.
I'd be fine in the valley.
Yeah, you've got to fit in as much elevation within that 100k as you can.
Yeah.
I
love challenges like that.
It's stuff like that I don't enjoy.
Really?
I'd rather than doing like an ultra marathon or a ridiculous like elevation challenge or anything like that, I'd rather set a new 5k PB.
But that just doesn't that get boring after a while? You're just like, oh,
because you're always progressing, you're always getting better.
Oh, I like the novelty. I like the oh, this is something a bit different.
And I get told that a lot. A lot of people are saying either I don't like how much a 5k hurts, or it's just boring doing the same thing over and over.
Yeah.
But I guess where I've come from swimming,
Yeah,
the
20
same
hours a
thing.
week of drills.
but you've always got set events with swimming, like you do the 50, 100, 200, 400, 1500, and that's it.
Yeah.
And you got different strokes, yeah. But it's all time based. You're always trying to beat your time, and that's the sort of mindset I've never lost.
Yeah.
I always want to. I enjoy Strava a lot as well. Like,
I do love Strava.
You've got a time up a hill on a segment. I want to beat that time.
Yeah.
Whether it's run or on bike or whatever. And then you see what everyone else is doing, and you're like, oh, I want to beat him. Oh, this guy's really good. He did it on an easy ride, but I'm going to beat him. Yeah.
But that's part of like the challenge mindset then, because like my whole thing is like I like challenges. Like I do enjoy a fast 5K. Don't get me wrong. I love that, just that pushing and that like incremental improvements. But it's more about like what's this next challenge? And like with Strava, I'm a proper like leaderboard wanker,
Yeah.
where I'm just like I want to be like top 10 on like every segment I do, and then I want to get as many firsts as I can. But that's like that challenge of like, it doesn't actually matter like where it is or what it is. Like some people are like, oh, I only care about the flat ones or uphills, and
You can go out and
I'm
make
just
the
like,
most obscure one.
Yeah.
It's only you that's done it, but you're first.
Yeah, I love that. And it's just like, there's ones where it's like I've gone out and there's been a segment and it's been through like nettles and ferns, and it's just a shit run, and I'm like, oh, I really want to be leader on that now. And like trying to run through it is horrendous, but
I guess it's like the FKTs in the ultra running and stuff like that. I appreciate that sort of stuff, but I don't like just going out for a 100-miler. I don't like that idea. I like
not even like the race side of it.
You've got to
like,
put a number on it, I think. That's how my brain works. Like,
okay. Maybe it's just because you haven't done it enough, so you just need to do it. Set that baseline,
maybe
and
I'll
then
do a 100-miler at some point.
Yeah. Maybe like a 50k, because like you've got the fitness there from like half Ironman.
I didn't enjoy it. I've done 4 marathons now, and I haven't enjoyed any of them.
Do you like trail running?
I love trail running. Yeah.
Do a trail ultra.
Okay. Yeah.
So different to a marathon.
Yeah.
I've still not done a marathon.
Okay. Yeah.
But I've done Cardiff half.
Yeah.
I'm doing it again this year, but I signed up this year because like I've got some of my clients doing it, and I was going to run with them. Whereas now I'm going for a PB. But like that, I enjoy that. Like up until now, I haven't been looking forward to Cardiff half because I'm like, oh, it's just a road half.
Yeah.
Whereas now I'm like, oh, like I can go for a PB.
Yeah.
And it's that challenge, but like trail, so
Maybe
much
I'll do
more
like
fun.
a trail half marathon to start with, and then build from there. Yeah.
There's Macon Trail half coming up. That's a good one.
Maybe over winter after Worlds.
Yeah.
We'll get Worlds out of the way.
Yeah, get that out of the way,
Yeah.
and then I'll go for a trail half with you.
I've signed up to do High Rocks as well.
Have you?
In London.
Nice. When's that?
That's the start of December, so I've got to get. I'll be fit from the Worlds, but then I'm gonna be so weak. Like all the lunges and stuff like that, I'm gonna be very weak for. Yeah.
Do you do much S&C now that you're doing the triathlon?
Yeah,
stuff?
this year especially, I've been trying to keep up with it, mainly to try and keep injury free, not like performance based or anything like that. Yeah, trying to keep myself stronger so that I'm not getting the little niggles that'll put you out for half a week or something like that.
Yeah.
So I'm doing 2 gym sessions a week, both like full body workouts. So I'll usually do 4 exercises, 1 lower body push, 1 lower body sort of pull, like a deadlift sort of thing, and then 1 upper body push, 1 upper body pull. It just sort of keeps everything all in line. And then so the 2 sessions a week, I'll do them both sort of similar, but one of them will be unilateral, so I'll do like lunges instead of a squat, and then the other session I'll do bilateral, so I'll do the squat on that session. I think that it's just covering all bases. It's keeping me stronger, it's keeping me balanced, I guess. Yeah.
No, that sounds good. I do find it funny because obviously, like, my main job is like I do coaching and like strength and conditioning primarily, and it's annoying how simple it can be.
Yeah.
Because like as a coach, it's like, oh, I want to like help best I can, and it's so easy to like
You want to
overcomplicate it.
yeah.
And then it's like, no, it is that easy. Like you said, lower body push and pull, upper body push and pull, and then you do bilateral, unilateral, and you've got most of it there.
Yeah.
And it's just like, yeah, like,
And I added a bit of plyometric work at the end of the session as well, and then a bit of mobility, and
yeah.
that's it.
Yeah, it's a good good approach. It is like that's the absolute like core of what you do. That's like,
I think with all training, I think people overcomplicate things. Like in swimming, like, oh, I've invented this new drill, but what's it doing that the other drills aren't doing? Why are you doing that drill? Is it because it looks good and you want people to notice you, or is it actually doing something for your swimming?
yeah,
You see it all the time on Instagram and stuff like that, where people are doing these ridiculous swimming sessions or drills or whatever it is, but what are you actually gaining from it?
yeah,
Yeah, I'd say keep it simple. Like, follow the set model that works for everyone. Yeah, if you're world leader in a sport, then yeah, you might have to come up with something new to then push the boundary even further. But
yeah,
I'd say follow the set model that works for everyone. Like, yeah, you might need to make it a bit more specific to you, but yeah, don't overcomplicate things.
yeah,
Like with the triathlon plans, it's a lot of it is just swim, bike, and run. Like,
yeah,
don't overcomplicate it. With the swimming, make sure it's you're working those skills, make sure you're efficient. With the bike, get the volume in. With the run, be consistent with it.
yeah,
Don't have like one massive 100-mile a week and then the next week you're doing 20 miles because you're knackered.
yeah.
Yeah, make sure you're consistent with the running, make sure you're doing lots on the bike, and make sure you're efficient with the swimming.
Yeah.
And you're done. Yeah.
I think that's probably, and I've probably said this hundreds of times on the podcast now, is like the most important thing is just that consistency in anything.
Yeah.
And that's the bit that people find hardest.
Yeah.
It's like just, yeah, getting there and doing the work.
It's not about, like, leading into Ironman, everyone's like, oh, I've got to do my big 30k run, I've got to do my big long ride. It's not about that one ride or one run. It's about everything that's built to that point.
Yeah.
That run, that long ride, that long run, I'd say it's more just like a practice. You're practicing your nutrition, you're practicing using all your kit. That's what you're gaining out of that long run, not any sort of fitness gain. That's what's come for the 12, 18 months before that, where you've built up to it. Yeah, I don't think I think, yeah, people just overcomplicate things. They don't need to.
Yeah. I was saying it about my 230 miles in a week that I was doing. Since January up until that point, I'd run over 1,000 miles just to get ready for that one week. And it's like, yeah, everyone's like, oh, wow, like, you did amazing on that week. I was like, I've done amazing in the build-up to that 1 week.
Yeah.
That 1 week was just like, how much can I push through and suffer for 6 days? And yeah, it's the real like week in, week out, turning up, running like you're saying, like 70, 80 mile weeks just to build up for 1 week. It's like, yeah, people don't appreciate that enough, I don't think.
It was Patrick Langer who won the Ironman World Championships last year. He only runs 70, 80k a week. Like, it's not ridiculous at mileage, but he ran the fastest time by I think 8 minutes in the marathon.
Yeah.
And yeah, he doesn't do ridiculous volume, but he's done that every week for the last 10 years. So it's just that consistency over time. And a lot of people go into Ironman training and go too hard too soon, do too much too soon, and then sort of you're like 6 months out still, and you're burning out,
Yeah.
and then you've got to take a little break, and then you put yourself on the back foot. So it is, I guess, periodizing your training to peak for that one event. That's why you have your A races, your B races, all that sort of stuff. With all the coaching that we do, both with the swimming coaching, but I do a lot of triathlon coaching as well. It's having that insight to know, not just from my own training, but from watching other people train, seeing what they've done and how that's resulted in their event, or how that's resulted leading into their event. What sort of training styles they've gone into, and it does result back into just being consistent, finding a level that you can sustain all year to train for that event, or for the 6 months or whatever time you're training for that event.
Yeah. What keeps bringing you back to triathlon then? Because like you said, like you started with swimming, got into triathlon, got injured, took a break, did your strength stuff, and now you're back in triathlon, and you just keep coming back to it.
I'm good at it. I like being at the top. I like with the number thing. I like doing better than everyone.
Yeah.
I just enjoy it. I just enjoy that side of it.
Yeah.
And then it's, I guess with the big events, it's all like the buzz of the crowds and stuff like that. Like leading out the water in Tembe, going up the zigzags, having all the crowd like right in your face there. It's like the Tour de France rides that you see when the crowds are so narrow and you just sort of, that sort of stuff is one side of it. But then it's, I do like just being better and better in myself every year and improving.
Yeah.
That's what I like to see. I guess it's more intrinsic than extrinsic motivation. Going back to the Strava thing as well. Like, I want to beat that time. I want to see improvements. Is what I'm getting at. Yeah.
Yeah. Because for me, like, everyone that knows me is just like, oh well, you've done so many different sports, and I'm like, I just get bored of a sport.
Yeah,
and it's not like I'm like really bored of it. I've got to the point where I've maximised my gains.
Yeah.
So I've gone from like knowing nothing about it to being above average. And then you hit that first plateau, and then I don't feel like I'm learning as quick, because you're not. I've like learnt the most I can in the shortest amount of time, and then I'm like, I want to be learning again. So then I find something that I'm awful at, and then I try and get good at it. And that's like my trend. So I'm always like above average, and then people are like, oh, you could do really well at this, and then I'm like, I'm gonna go do something else now. So like, just seeing the consistency to stick with one thing always baffles me, because I'm like, don't you just want to go off and learn something?
I do get that. Like, I tried a bit of bouldering, more of like over winter as like a strength thing, and I've tried other sports, and I'm like, oh, I really enjoy this. I could do this, and then I look at how good everyone actually is in that sport, and I think I'm super competitive. I want to be better than everyone.
Yeah.
And that's what's sort of driving me. And I'm looking at what other people are doing, and like, how can I improve my training to be better than them?
Yeah.
But then it, like I said, it always comes back to just being consistent, doing it over and over and over for a long period of time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You found that thing and you're just sticking with it.
Yeah.
I can respect it, I just don't understand it. Like, it's always... And I feel like I'm probably like getting there with running now. Like, this is the most consistently I've trained for anything, was running for that challenge. And I'm still like, I do want to still do better at this.
Yeah.
So I keep setting these bigger and bigger challenges. And I'm just like, okay, maybe running's my thing. But then I'm also like, as soon as I finish that challenge, I'm like, oh, when can I go rock climbing again? Like, it's been ages since I've been rock climbing.
Yeah.
I'm going to be awful at it. And I love that I'm going to be awful at it. And I just want to feel like I'm getting better again.
I do enjoy trying a different sport, maybe as like a sort of cross-training thing over winter.
Yeah.
Like, we'll go and play badminton just because it's it's a bit of laugh. It's a laugh, yeah. And then it's good cross training. I always resort it back to triathlon though.
Yeah.
Like, it's good cross training. Like, you're building up those sort of movements that you're not doing. It's the sort of movements that lead to an injury. Like, if you sort of have to, when you're running and you have to sort of take a sharp turn, that's all badminton, that's all tennis or whatever sport. Yeah. But it's just teaching the body and strengthening yourself in those areas, so you're not going to get those injuries. And that. Yeah, I always just revert it back to triathlon.
Yeah. No, that's really interesting, to be fair, because I've never thought of it as cross training. I've always just been like, well, this is different training now.
Yeah, and that's probably why you pick up all the sports really quickly, because you do so many sports.
Yeah, I can pick things up really quick.
Yeah.
I do always tell people that, because they're just like, you're just good at everything, aren't you? And I was like, I am, but that's because I've done like 10 plus years of doing everything.
Yeah.
So once you get into that habit of just learning different things, you learn how to learn quicker.
Yeah.
Like, it's as simple as that. Like,
you pick up the skills really quickly. Yeah.
once you know how to move your body, like if you take a runner and tell them to go rock climbing, they're going to really struggle at rock climbing because it's just completely different. Their body's been taught to move one way.
Yeah.
But then you get someone that's done all these different sports. Like, my main sport when I started was like parkour and free running.
Okay. Yeah.
And it's like, that's so diverse that you take someone that does that and put them in different sports, and they've learnt so many different movement patterns that it's like, oh yeah, like I can pick this up quite quick. And yeah,
I do find a lot of people who have been coached in a sport before pick up swimming a lot easier.
Okay.
Like, we have a lot of the trend seems to be rugby players. They've had enough of playing rugby because of an injury or because they're just getting too old or whatever, and they go into triathlon, or they want to do a triathlon. So we get a lot of rugby players come and see us, and they pick it up really quickly because they've been coached in for so long during a sport that they can listen to that feedback and then sort of instantly change what they're doing, even though it's like swimming and rugby are completely different. I do find that the rugby players especially, they pick it up really quickly.
Nice.
We coached a group of ex-rugby, I can't remember the event. It was, they were doing the Bristol Channel crossing, but it was a load of ex-rugby union and league players that some of them could swim already, some of them were very good. Like Ian Goff was there, Rob Jones was there, and some of them could swim already, some of them had never been in the pool before, but all of them, they picked it up so quickly. Like, anything you tell them to do, they change like that. Whereas you get someone who's never been coached in a sport, who's never been in any like competitive sport before, and they just don't pick it up. They take a lot of time. Which I guess, some people are just coachable. Yeah. Some people are less coachable.
It must be hard in your job as a coach when you get that person that just can't seem to pick it up.
Everyone gets there in the end. A lot of it comes down to going away and practicing all the stuff that, like, I'll give you a list of homework to do. Go and practice it. And it's the people who go and do those things that are getting the benefits of it. They're the ones seeing the improvements, whereas the people who don't, and they just go back to their old ways and doing the same old thing, they're not gaining a lot from the sessions. It's like, why are you paying me?
Yeah, but yeah, they clearly are just gonna stick with it and keep paying you. So yeah. That's up to them at the end of the day, isn't it? So.
I get, like, some people are very busy. Like, if I say you need to be swimming twice a week, if you want to start seeing some improvement, or if you're already swimming twice a week, you need to add another swimming a week. And I guess some people just can't fit that in with, like, family, with work, with just generally how life is.
Yeah.
Like, people are busy. But then it's like, is this the right thing for you? Have you actually got the time to train? Have you got time to commit to this event. Like if you want to do an Ironman, that's not a little. It's not just a little thing. It's you've got to. It does take over your whole life, so you've got to be able to commit to that. You've got to have an understanding family. You've got to have an understanding job as well, to be able to sacrifice that time to put into the training to be able to do it.
How much different is the training from like a half to a full Ironman? Like, is that quite a big jump, or can you get away with it? Okay.
Yeah. I always say, if you can do a sprint triathlon, you can do a standard triathlon. If you can do a standard triathlon, you can do a half Ironman. If you can do a half Ironman, you can do a full Ironman. But you can't. Some people do. They just jump in straight into the Ironman. But yeah, it is. They're all little steps up, and I'd say go into it like that way. I'd start off with the sprint triathlon. Find out if you enjoy it first. If you do enjoy it, if you want to do another one, bump up the distance. Some people never go above sprint and standard distance, and that's fine. I wish I'd never done that. But yeah, and then if you want to push it further, go to the half Ironman. It's when you get to that sort of level that it starts to get a bit competitive as well. Like everyone sees the half, sees the Ironman, and they want to do that distance because that's where all the big events are.
It's the same as like a marathon, isn't it?
Yeah, everyone wants to do a marathon at some point, even if you're like a 5k runner. You got to do it at some point. Yeah, like I've done mine now. I can I can go back to the shorter stuff. Yeah.
I look at it because then I look at these other events where you've got like double distance and triple distance.
Yeah,
and,
no.
and I'm just, and then you've got like I had Chris Hill on, and he was going to do the Deca.
Yeah.
And I was just looking at that, like, that just blows my mind. And then you've got Sean Conway, who did, like 107 days?
So he did the swimming there in the pool that I used to train at in North Wales, yeah. It was only when I saw him on Instagram doing it, I was like, hey, I know that place. I want to say I've done the most meterage in that pool out of anyone. Because that's where I sort of...
Even compared to Sean?
Well, he did, 107 days of doing 3.8k. I was doing like 16 hours a week, 20 hours a week in that pool. So like I'd probably do that in about 50 days, what he did. Just in terms of the swimming.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't do any of the bike and run back then, but yeah. But stuff like that, I can't wrap my head around that. Like, because with that, there's no... Yeah, he wanted to get to the 100, but there's no end goal. Like, it's how far do you push it? I can't wrap my head around that.
Well, he got to the point, didn't he, where he was like, oh, well, now this has taken up, like, my family time, so I'm going to let a flip of the coin decide whether I'd go again or not. And it's just like, that was a really interesting way to do it. Because for me, I would want to keep going until, like, I physically can't go anymore.
Yeah.
But I don't have, like, family commitments or anything. Like, I live on my own. I coach and I run a podcast, and I'm like, like, those things can take a break if they need to. Like, I would just want to keep going and find out my limit, but then to just be at the point where it's like, oh, I got other things to do, like, let's leave it up to chance. That's what freaked me out the most about the whole thing. I'm like, a flip of a coin deciding what your world record's going to be. Just waking up, flicking it, and then just being like, okay, I'm not doing one today. I was just like, what? Like, you've got it in you, like, just go.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I wonder what it was like on the day after he finished. Like, what was happening with his body, and if it like shut down or anything like that. Yeah, I'm sure he's posted somewhere about it.
Yeah, probably. I was trying to get him on the podcast, but we couldn't get things to line up. But one day I'll get him
and like Russ Kirk. That'd be a good one. He's done all like the New Zealand one now, and then he's going into like, I want to do a 5k PB.
Yep.
This is crazy. Yeah.
He's trying to get 17 minutes, I think, for his 5k, and he started at 21.
Yeah.
Which is a good 5k time anyway.
Yeah.
But like 17, that's rapid.
Yeah.
What's your 5k PB?
So, I came into triathlon just from swim fitness alone. I did an 18:35k,
Oh my god.
and I barely run leading into that.
Jesus.
And then I got that down to a 16:44 is my like, all-time PB. And then that's when I started to get a bit of injuries and stuff like that, and then got back into it. My like, I guess, second go at triathlon PB would be, I think I did like 17:33, something like that.
Is that within a triathlon as well?
No, that was
okay,
a park run. Yeah.
Okay. I was going to say, if you're doing that mid-triathlon as well.
I think in a triathlon I've done 18 minutes, yeah. But I don't think I've ever been faster than that.
And I've only this year broken the sub-20 mark, and I was well happy with that. And now
I can't run as far as you.
No, that's fair.
Anything like half marathon and above, I just fall apart.
Yeah. See, I was like that until this year.
Yeah.
Even though I'd run 3 ultras before, like it was very loose term running. Like when I did a race on the weekend called the Rhythm, which is 50k. That was like the first one I tried to like race last year, and I was like, I really want sub 6. That's what I told my coach, and then I was like, really, I want sub 5. Like a sub 5 50k would be amazing. But I was like, no, I'll be realistic when I'm telling him my goals of like sub 6. And I got to the halfway point, which is just over a half marathon, and I'd blown up completely. And I kept pushing, and for the last 15k, I basically just walked, and I was sulking. And I was on track for sub 5 for the first half. And then I got like 7.5 hours in the end. And I went back this year, and I was in my head, I was like, oh, sub 5 would be amazing. But I was a week off crutches, so I was like, oh yeah, maybe not. I wasn't even meant to be running. I decided on the day that I was running, and I got like a 5:20, which was like a 50k PB for me.
I guess if you're going into it like on crutches, you've got no pressure on you. So I think that's a lot of it as well, like the psychology of it. It's a lot of people look at Ironman, like we went down this weekend and it was proper choppy in the sea. I think people just go into it and it's like that like caveman mentality, like, oh, I've got to attack it. And yeah, I think a lot of people struggled in like the first 200 meters. That's when most people get pulled out of the swim, in that first 200 meters.
Okay.
Because they've just gone in too hard and then blown up, and then you get a free ride on a jet ski. Well, it's not a free ride because you paid like 600 quid for it. But
probably the most expensive jet ski you've ever had, really.
But yeah, I think that's a lot of it's that mentality, going in confident that you can get around it, but also like relaxed. There's a lot of events. Like, I'm never the first one to the first buoy in the swim. Like, I don't think I've ever been the first one to the first buoy. But then I just settle into my stroke and I get into that rhythm and I cruise past everyone after that. I think that's a lot of it, is not burning your matches, I guess. Not going out too hard, not like pacing yourself, being realistic with what you can sustain for that duration, whatever, and not going crazy on it. You see it at parkrun every week, like people fly off from the start, like up with the front guys, and then they finish like 2-3 minutes back. Like, yeah, it's just learning that pacing strategy for whatever event, and that just comes with practice. It comes with doing more events. Like, I've been doing it for 15 years, so I know what pace I need to go on, what that feels like for every different event. Yeah.
Is there like a lot of planning in strategy with your triathlon then? Like, do you have like set paces that you're like, right, this is what I want to do for the swim, bike, run?
Yeah, but then it's so condition dependent, especially with the swim and the bike, that you might not be able to hit that, and it's like, oh well, like, it happens. And then just doing what you can on that day. And overcoming it in whatever way you can. With the run, I guess it's a little bit less conditions. Yeah, you can still have like headwind, tailwind, whatever, but yeah, it's taking the conditions into circumstance and yeah, getting the best result out that you can on that day.
Yeah. Do you ever think when you're doing like the longer events then that like maybe you look at your splits and you're like, oh, I'm going like above what I was planning, but I'm feeling good. Do you think I should pull it back a bit so I don't blow up, or are you just riding it? And
I think it's a Chinese proverb. I think it's like, this too shall pass, where it's like, oh, I'm feeling good. This is gonna pass. I'm feeling really bad. This is gonna pass. I've got a little pain in my hip here. I'm getting cramp or something like that. This is gonna pass. Like, I think that's what I do a lot. Where like, yeah, I'm feeling good right now. Stick to the plan. If I feel good in the last, I don't know, 2K, yeah, push it a bit more.
yeah.
But yeah, the longer events, it's
Erring on the side of caution almost.
yeah, definitely. You see it so much. The people who are flying past you at the start of the bike are the ones you're going to see walking up the hills at the end, especially on a course like Wales, where it's the toughest in the world, yeah. But the best supported in the world. Yeah.
You're really trying to sell it to me, aren't you? You're like, yeah, go on, do an Ironman.
Yeah. Well, you see that tough course and you're like, oh, I want to do that one.
Yeah.
You're not going to pick a flat one, are you?
No, definitely not. And like, it would be my nature to be like, I don't need to do a sprint triathlon. What's that? Like, go straight for Ironman. I know someone that went from never having swum or anything, and they went and did it was called the double brutal, so double Ironman distance. And it's just like, how? How have you done that? And that's the thing that drives me, is how is that possible?
A lot of it's just mental. It's as soon as you've lost your head, you're done.
Yeah.
Even on the shorter ones, like, if you can maintain that mentality, like, I need to hold this pace, I need to keep pushing to whatever limit it is. As soon as you lose that, you're done. You've lost.
Yeah.
It's just maintaining that mentality all the way through the race, which is training your mind. Like, but that's where you do all the training. You do those, especially in Wales where it's wet all the time. It's going out in those tougher conditions rather than, oh, I'll miss this session, or oh, I'll do it on the turbo trainer or whatever. It's going out in those tougher conditions and pushing through them.
Yeah. No, that's definitely probably my strong suit, is just the mindset. 'Cause I love a challenge. So as soon as someone's like, I go on like a group run most Wednesdays, and they started doing this thing where it was like, oh, right, we're going to set a challenge each week. And I was just like, what challenge? Like, I was like a dog with his ears perked up. I was just like, where's the challenge? Like, and they'd be like, oh, we're going to see like how far we can run up this like really steep incline. And I was like, okay, challenge accepted, I'll get to the top. And like, I would always be like the one at the front just like charging, and then I'd look back and people have like got halfway and like started walking, and I'm just like, yes, I've won. It's just super competitive. But it's usually just as soon as the word challenge is involved, I'm like, yeah, okay, I'll do it. What is it? Like, say yes first and then figure out the details later.
Yeah.
It's a fun way to do it.
Into it. Yeah.
Cool. Well, we'll leave it there. Thank you for coming on. That was really, I really didn't know what to expect today, because it was just Dave was just like, when I came down to tour for the massage, he was just like, oh, like, this is Ross, you should get him on your podcast. And he just shouted across like, Ross, do you want to go on his podcast? And I was like, yeah, all right. So I was just like, cool, like, know nothing about you, but no, it's been really interesting. Thank you for coming on. Thanks again for listening to another episode of the Adventure Athletes podcast. Like I always say, the more listens we get, the more you guys like, share, engage with the content, share it with all of your friends, the better we can do as a podcast. I get nothing from this podcast whatsoever other than the joy of sitting down, meeting new people and sharing stories with you guys. So if you want this podcast to keep going, keep sharing it around, because one day I might not be able to do it anymore. I dread the day that comes, because I absolutely love doing this and I love sharing the free content with you guys. But we need to start pushing it, and I want it to get bigger and better guests, even though we have got some incredible guests coming on the podcast. Well, until next time, guys.